Welcome to another video by Indicator Vault. This is Ronald, and in this video, we're just going to go over some price action movement here with the British pound, Japanese yen, and we've got the order block gen and price action origin indicators on the chart. And just going to be a review of how to use some of these, price action concepts along with these indicators and just very simple stuff, things you want to look for specifically with order blocks and, how to validate or know, if you should expect some price movement in the intended direction. So let's start with here. When you see this bearish order block, I marked the bottom here. And the main thing you want to look for with the order blocks that are marked out by the order block gen is for price to break below. For instance, in a bearish one, price to break below it to validate it. After that, you can look for entries inside of this entire zone. Now, of course, we see price pokes above it here and then falls, but look quickly here at this green candle. Just two candles after this breaks below it, we get the touch there and then dramatically falls very quickly. This is the 4-hour chart. We'll go into the 1-hour some as well. But then look here, moves up, then retests it again. And now let's go to a 1-hour chart and refine our entry sum. Okay, so here we are on the 1-hour chart. I wanted to bring in the replay function to bring up some of these pin bars and double bar patterns that the price action origin picks up. Now, using this logic with the higher time frames having the most influence, we are only looking for sells once price gets up here and touches the order block. This yellow line is the bottom of the order block. So one great confirmation is when you see price, for instance, we marked out the 4-hour order block and now we're in the 1-hour time frame, is if you go to the lower time frame and is hitting an order block and at that same time it forms another order block, that is going to be high probability as far as taking those trades or at least confirming your bias, in this example for sells. And it does just that, touches the 4-hour order block, forms a 1-hour order block, and then we see it break below, comes back into the zone, and we can see that the high of this 1 hour never gets violated. Price does wick right close to it, but it never goes above it. And so what do we see here? Another bearish order block, break below, retest it, but we're not quite getting into this entry. And now for one, what do we see here? A wick above it. So this is just kind of a messy, it's not very clean order block. We've got price going above it, even though we do have price breaking below it. And with that, we're just not super confident just because it's just not very clean. We go to here, yes, we do have the bullish order block, breaks above it, retest it, but we're not looking for buys. We already have confirmation for sells with what's going on here. So again, retest it again, bearish order block, very clean, breaks below it, comes back up in here, retest it, consolidates for a little bit, and then moves away. Now, we don't, here we go. In real time, what you would have been looking at is seeing the vertical bar pattern form inside of the bearish order block. So many confirmations taking this sell here. If you haven't already gotten in it here, you can sit through some of the consolidation if you have the patience for that. But then here, bearish order block forms again as it's hitting the 4-hour order block. Vertical bar sell, breaks below it, closes below the order block, comes back up, retests it, and then just continues to fall very quickly. So that's how we could have gotten in the sell here. And that's even without going into the 15-minute time frame. Going into even lower time frames will give you some other great confirmations, some more precise entries, especially just seeing the sensitivity to the 4-hour order block line here. And just with all these other confirmations, this would have been a great trade, with all of these lows being some take partial, levels. And doesn't quite get to here, and we're going to go over that right now. So this was the sell that we looked at, this big move down, and I noted how price did not break this low, but instead from this bullish order block, we see this strong move playing out so far. So let's go and look into why this order block held. Well, for one, we don't actually see it retested after it breaks above it. So these candles here and here are wicking above it. And we finally have it close above it with this candle. But this wick happened before it broke above. So this broke above it, and this next candle does not come and touch this order block. So we have a fresh bullish order block here that has not been tested at all. As far as the confirmation of it being, price closing above it. It closes above it here, but throughout all of this, it's never been touched yet after price closed above it. So once it comes into here, we can look for some good bullish movements. And so what do we see? That same logic. Now this is on the same time frame, and we're going to go into the 1 hour for a little bit. But remember, bullish order block that has not been touched yet. Price comes into it, forms another bullish order block inside of that zone, and then here, look, breaks above it, comes back, retests it after the break above, and then this super strong move running up. So let me mark out the top of here. Now, we see price wicks into it with this candle, but then continues to drop. But we're not buying because there's no confirmation. It just wicks, no break above it, no bullish order block, no good confirmation to take a buy off of this candle. We wait for confirmation. Yes, there is a pin bar buy, but we need some other confirmations, such as an order block forming inside of it. Now, one thing I do want to mark out, when you have a large zone like this one, you more so want to mark out the halfway point, the equilibrium 50% mark of that zone. So for this example, we're going to do that. And the high and the 50% price level of order blocks, no matter how big they are, but especially on big ones, you want to look at the 50% mark. They will be the most sensitive price levels to look for. So we've got that here. So let's go into the 1 hour. Same thing. Let me bring price back to here. Look at that. Goes into the 4-hour order block, forms a 1 hour order block, breaks above it, retest it, and double bar pattern inside of the bullish order block. So many confirmations. These are the exact same confirmations I just went over for the sell. 4-hour order block, breaks below it, came and retested it. In the 1 hour, forms an order block inside of the 4-hour zone, while also the price action origin is giving a buy signal, a buy pattern. So we can see this play out over and over. And again, the same thing. If you go to the 15-minute, you'll be able to refine your entries even more. You know, these same types of stuff is playing out. And so bearish order block, no close below it, but we're not interested in bearish order blocks at this moment because of all the confirmations for bullishness now, for a strong up move. Same bullish order block, breaks above it, comes back and retests it. And of course, strong confirmation for this one because we also have the double bar buy pattern inside of the bullish order block. So, and then super strong move that we are taking at least up into this area, maybe not necessarily these highs, even though it does take out the highs, but just at least to maybe, you know, one of these other order blocks or this consolidation range. So yeah, this is just the price action origin and order block gen, two very simple and easy to read indicators, catching these strong up and down moves here on GJ, British pound, Japanese yen. So just a quick video, very simple confirmations. Again, could have caught this move down based off of this order block and lower time frame confirmations, and then the exact same move. These are both very strong moves, especially on GJ. And then the same thing, catching close to the bottom here based off of this order block and then lower time frame confirmations, and then this move back up. So I hope this video was helpful, and until next time, best of luck trading.